Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to deliver a keynote address at the 11th Summit of the Northern Corridor Integration Projects currently underway here in Nairobi. The region has 4 partner states, including Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan and Uganda, all striving to enhance cooperation, integration and speeding up of development. Of immediate concern is a long-time cargo spends to and from the Mombasa port to its destination, and there are many causes of delays, from the slow operations at the port, multiple weighing at weigh bridges, many police checks, uncoordinated border checks, among many others. Now our reporter Patrick Amimo is attending the meeting and now joins us by telephone. Patrick, has the meeting started, and what are the first items that have been discussed on the agenda, if it has?
Thank you, Namu. Indeed, we've been, since morning, we've been waiting for the start of this particular summit. But so far, it's yet to kick off because what I understand is President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, President Kagame of Rwanda, Salva Kiir of South Sudan are in attendance, and they are still having at least a closed session meeting with President Uhuru Kenyatta at another venue within Nairobi here, where the meeting is being held at the Safari Park Hotel. But I expect any time, maybe from now, they will be coming for these. The President Uhuru Kenyatta will be leading the other heads of states to the summit and for the official opening. But at least top on these, given that this is the 11th Northern Integration Project Summit. Remember, the 10th one was held in Kampala, Uganda. Now this one is being held in Nairobi, Kenya. And this, remember, the first summit was held in June 2013, where the heads of states from this region said that agreed to meet every 2 months to review progress made with regard to this particular corridor. This transport corridor is, some of the countries in the region are landlocked, and they're looking at infrastructure like the standard gauge railway that will open up the region for trade and other political benefits
yes.
as the region is integrated. So it's just the project is designed to generate this sustainable political goodwill that will be necessary to fast-track implementation of this particular project that they have lined up. If maybe one of the projects, if I can just mention, like the standard gauge railway, which was launched last year, and whose construction is ongoing. So I think it will be one of the areas that they'll be looking at to monitor the progress and any area that requires funding.
All right, Patrick, before I let you go, there are a number of issues that, of course, will be discussed at this summit, a number of commitments that were made by leaders at the political level, but practically it's been very difficult to implement. There are complaints right now in Kenya about a 16-hour traffic jam affecting the Voi section of the Mombasa-Nairobi highway. What are the commitments, or rather what are delegates willing to discuss about the commitments that have been made to ease pressure on this corridor as it stands right now without the infrastructural developments?
Indeed, I think these are some of the issues they'll be discussing at the closed door session, because what we've been told is that after the official address by President Uhuru Kenyatta, after he delivers this keynote address, they will have the leaders will remain for a closed door session where they've invited where the heads of state will be attending. We also have members of the East African Business Council who've been invited, because now there is a public-private sector partnership that has been brought on board, where I expect the businessmen will also have to give the problems they're encountering when it comes to the transportation of goods and other services across the region. Maybe they'll give them the hurdles they face and how they think they can be streamlined for faster transport and development. But so far, they are saying that some progress has been recorded so far, especially where they talk of the removal of non-tariff barriers, though there exists in some areas where it's very difficult for people maybe to, especially when it comes to work permits, those are yet to be implemented. They also talk of like the one network area where the roaming charges on voice calls have been harmonized and seen the calls reduced drastically, and where they've also allowed citizens from the East African community to be able to visit other countries with the use of the national identity card.
Yeah.
So these are some of the positive things that they have put in place, but more needs to be done. So that's one I expect they'll do it in the closed session where media will not be invited, but all the heads of states and the business community will be deliberating on those aspects.
All right, Patrick, final question from me here. Ethiopia and Eritrea are building a railway line passing through both countries, effectively giving Ethiopia access to the port at Eritrea, and that railway line being touted as one that could reach into West Africa. Are we looking beyond ourselves here in East Africa? Are delegates talking about what the infrastructural projects that we're undertaking, especially the railways, the standard gauge railways, could do not just for East Africa but for Central and perhaps Western Africa?
Indeed, Namo. If you look at it from the look of things, they are focusing their attention on the 4 East African countries, that is Kenya, Uganda, South Sudan, and Rwanda, and maybe probably they'll later on rope in Democratic Republic of Congo. But the Northern Corridor, if you have to go back even in history, it's to do with there was an idea by one Cecil Rhodes who had imagined that there was, at one time he had dreamed that there would be a railway line connecting Cape Town to Cairo. And these are some of those ideas that maybe that were during the colonial era, which are maybe the leadership of the independent African states have seen that it could be workable for their region and the continent for rapid development. So once these are like the standard gauge railway is connected, there will be an interregional link across Africa, even through the road network. For Ethiopia, they've done their part. Whose road networks link up with Kenya. The rail network is also linking up with Kenya. So, and it also needs just a small connection like for Ethiopia through the LAPSET project, which will link up with Ethiopia and to the rest of North Africa. And for DRC Congo, once the SGR is there, the railway goes through Uganda and Rwanda, then DRC can pick it maybe across to the Atlantic. Namo?
All right, many things to consider there at the Northern Corridor Summit. Thank you very much for joining us, Patrick Amimo, President Uhuru Kenyatta, as well as Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni, Rwandan President Paul Kagame, and South Sudanese President Salva Kiir, all expected to attend this summit to discuss progress with respect to those infrastructure projects and indeed the entire Northern Corridor project itself.